Fellas, this is the last exotic review for me in terms of Forsaken exotics, outside of Malfeasance and Wishender, which we will eventually get to once we figure out how to get them. But Shards of Galanor is one of the new exotics brought to us here in Forsaken, and it ties directly to the new Gunslinger class. Now we're going to talk about this exotic today and how it's performing in both PvP and PvE. We're also going to talk about a perk called Hands On. That's actually the other picture there in the thumbnail. Essentially, guys, I want to see if this perk synergizes here with Shards of Galanor. Now, first up, let's talk about what's happening here intrinsically. Sharp edges, hits, and kills with Blade Barrage will return super energy after the super ends. Matter of fact, if you look at the bottom left hand of the screen, after doing your Blade Barrage, you'll see a text there that says super restoring. And that time frame directly relates to how much super energy you're about to get back. The longer that time frame, the more super energy you regenerate. So first up, let's talk about Hands On. What's going on here with this perk? This is a helmet armor perk. Gain bonus super energy on melee kills. Now first, I know this isn't a melee kill, but you are throwing knives. Again, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but we still have to test if something like this would stack with this exotic. Turns out it does not. But even more so, the concern for me was that hands-on in general didn't seem to really work. Here's me attacking a couple enemies, I'm doing my melees. Notice this is how much super energy I'm getting back with hands-on, and this is how much super energy I'm getting back without it. If hands-on is actually doing something here, it's hardly noticeable. Now, we'll say I did not try this with other subclasses. It might not be this way with Pole Dancer or with Night Stalker, but in terms of Gunslinger, at least with Way of 1,000 Cuts, it was not working as I hoped it would work. Now for my Hunter mains, let me know in the comments below if you've dived in and actually looked at this yourself. Was there something I was doing wrong with hands-on here? So feel free to let us know. Now let's talk about this exotic. The Shards of Galanor regenerate super at the levels that we've seen from other exotics. Ursa Furiosa was one that I played with a couple weeks ago. A very nasty exotic in both PvE and in PvP. You've also got things like Wizened Vest, Phoenix Protocol, Geomax Stabilizers. There's little things that helps you in terms of regenerating that super and maintaining it in some way. Shards of Galanor, if you are a Gunslinger main and you rock Way of 1,000 Cuts, this is a must-have exotic. Now, you're not gonna get your super back every single time, but there will definitely be times that you get your super back completely after one barrage. Now, there's ways to manipulate that. Obviously, spreading your field of view out as you do your Blade Barrage to get the most hits out, thus get the most kills, results in you getting the most bang for your buck. But again, there will be those scenarios that you'll have lots of enemies, say they're charging you, maybe they're a bunch of thrall. Instead of taking out that entire group in just one volley, try to make an aim to take them out in two. I really think, guys, this plays a major role in regenerating that super and taking advantage of this exotic. Well, guys, that is Shards of Galanor. If you are a Gunslinger main and you play with the new subclass, this exotic, even if it doesn't regenerate your entire super, can easily, even in PvP, cut that super time down by half. Now, there's a lot of things to be competing for your exotic slot. When I was 6 Coyote the other day, you still got things like Stompies. And just because Wormhusk got a nerf from where it was last season doesn't mean it's not still good. But if you heavily rely on this super, which is definitely a panic super to the max, then this is a great exotic for you. One other suggestion, make sure you stay alive after doing your super. Very much like Ursa Furiosa, if you are not alive, you will not take advantage of that super regeneration. So going in for the trade while using this exotic is absolutely pointless. Well, fellas, that is the review for Shards of Galanor. The last one. We'll be covering everything else, but for the rest of this week, we're going to be really jumping on builds. Video uploads will probably drop down, I would say, to 2 a day. I don't think we're going to go any more than that, but we're going to really concentrate on really in-depth builds and how to really build your characters out. So guys, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.